The African culture therefore contributes to the social and economic development of the people. Before I go on, let me do some introduction. Welcome to Pato Images Incorporated. Please subscribe to my channel and share my video. Thank you. Okay, let us continue. I went to a cultural event at Odumase, where a personality from the law profession was chosen to become a chief of the chiefdom stool. The stool had become vacant and needed a personality to be on the throne, and I want to shine a light on it. I have written down a few notes and I want to share with you. To begin with, development represents the social, economic, and political process of progressive change in which measurable and qualitative improvements in the material and cultural standards of life are achieved by a given people or society for the mutual benefit of all its members in a sustainable way. When we use the word culture, what does it even mean to us? Traditions and customs come closer to our understanding of ourselves and the environment. There are probably as many different definitions of culture. In some instances, culture is the characteristics and knowledge of a particular group of people, defined by everything from symbols, language, religion, food, social habitats, music, and arts. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, has also adopted a broad definition of culture, stating that culture is the complex whole, which includes knowledge, beliefs, arts, morals, laws, customs, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by people in a particular society. A person can be described as being cultured or uncultured based on their exposure to a particular style of culture. We can stress that culture is one of the main pillars of development and sustenance of communities. In the absence of culture, no society can progress, and that is a matter of fact. It is the identity where common values, attitudes, preferences, knowledge are attributed to their behavior in a particular social group and has a positive influence on social development in any given country. As these definitions suggest, there are two basic components of culture: ideas and symbols on the one hand, and artifacts or material objects on the other hand. The first type, which is non-material culture, includes the values, beliefs, symbols, and language that define a society. The second type, called material culture, includes all society's physical objects, such as its tool and technology, clothing, eating utensils, and means of transportation. The components of culture which contribute to the social and economic development in the Ghanaian cultural setting are many. But first and foremost, language is one of the major components of culture, which has contributed immensely to the socio-economic development of Africa. Every culture has a means of communication, whether it's through spoken or written words, or symbols like the Adinkra symbols of the Akans. Language is therefore a cornerstone of culture. All cultures have spoken language, even if there are no developed forms of writing. People who speak the same language often share the same culture, and this portrays their identity. This identity expressed through culture is a necessity for all human development. It creates the fundamental building blocks in our personality and in the ties that link us to communities and nations. The quality of our lives depends to a great extent on our being able to take part in and benefit from our culture. We instinctively know, with no need for explanation, that maintaining a connection with the unique character of our historic and natural environment, with the language, the music, the art and the literature, which accompanies us through our lives, is fundamental for our unity by providing a sense of who we are. The quality of our lives depends to a great extent on our being able to partake in and benefit from our culture. We instinctively know, with no need for explanation, that maintaining a connection with the unique character of our historic and cultural environment, with the language, the music, the arts, and the literature, which accompanies us through our lives, is fundamental for our unity by providing a sense of who we are. By the way, sorry for the noise coming from the background. Just that some kids are misbehaving, and I think at the right time I'll get the sound very clear. There are basic values for every society to have a culture, irrespective of its place in the human development, which is very obvious to everyone, and it makes it an essential consideration for any development. Moreover, social organization is also another component of culture, which has contributed much to the socio-economic development of Africa. Social organization creates social structure by organizing its members into small units to meet basic needs. Family patterns give members one of the most important units of social organization. Through the family, children learn how they are expected to act and what to believe so as to fit in the society in which they belong. Because there are multiple people in a family, members of the family can be very helpful in developing a child's skills with multiple perspectives of the culture. What your child learns from the interaction between you and them is what they will carry for the rest of their life in regard to how to treat others. Through this socialization with the family, a child will learn how to trust, seek friendship from others, and find comfort with others as well. Respect for elders is strong. This even determines kinship and ethnicity. One way to see what society values is to look at whom society respects. Usually, people show more respect to people and to things that they value highly. Whenever you trust people with disrespect, your child will certainly notice. Children are sponges that soak up everything around them, and many times we forget that they are watching us. However, as a whole, many of us agree and desire to share with our children values of respect, compassion, fairness, and responsibility so that they can be responsible in the near future, therefore facilitating social development in Africa. Therefore, political organization is one of the major components of culture which has contributed greatly to the socio-economic development of Africa.
Get us in one by and Sabi what you don't. I said, okay, no, to what we said by who I don't tell you to come on. I could not hear by it. Now, and I'm saying, but what in area about actually. Now, so, you're selling in the Tino, or the coming up, I'm more pay back. Long have a swoop on them from the other two. Let us give you, let us be a son. I'm saying, airport, of what I see will be free. And I'm saying, Omunya, she don't party go, and Yanya him into them. I'm a horse as I be. I say, I am cancer, but therefore, hospital, also, was as you, and to the second girl, Nana Mr. Bay, just also may have worked one. Nana of this has been into my proof, yes, I say, I am not yet. Nana so that she don't fuss, paying for who come to go, none day. What you Nana or say, I bet you and on the Dutch dome and on National or there must be some what might know and what might say. Now, would your said, but I never boy, now, sir, that's not proper to the echo. Yes, I die and teaching and overhead enough for me a lawyer. I tell him your lawyer. You go here, going young so power. The young never be free till another was it, or more papa, what about us?
That's him. Every yes, Lemon. Sabra and not yet the we. Sir, the beer pay a can hold and a mine, sorry. Nay, I didn't coffee, Pagan, the didn't coffee and Sana. Mobile Peja. Nana, Nana,
People form governments to provide for their common needs, keep order with society, and protect the society from outside threats. Government is simply defined as persons or people who hold power in society. In every governance of people, we have laws and political institutions. A type of governance can be democracy, in which people have supreme power and the government acts by and with consent of the people. Politically, culture plays a neutral part in a development policy that is serious about human rights. A free and strong cultural sector will promote other rights and values such as freedom of expression, diversity, and debate about needs in society. Culture ensures unity during crisis, influences identity, debate, and dialogue. It is important for nation building and for peace and reconciliation. Interestingly, religion is one of the major components of culture, which has contributed greatly to the socio-economic development of Africa. Culture is one of the great importance in Africa, and we practice from time to time to engage our people. And as such, they believe in the existence of an invisible world, which is different but not separate from the visible world, that is inhabited by spiritual beings or forces with which they can communicate and which they perceive to have an influence on their daily lives. In most African societies, there is support for moral order. It creates a sense of security and order in the community. Followers believe in the guidance of their ancestors' spirits, and this rid of fear from the African so as to facilitate effective outcome, resulting in rapid development in Africa. In addition, I find technology to be another component of culture, which has contributed immensely to the socio-economic development of Africa. Technology refers to the use of ideas, knowledge, and skills with which equipment or tools are made and used to modify resources in the environment to provide basic needs and wants. The greater the technological process, the higher we will have a better economic progress. The technological progress of a country also brings tourism, because how these huge umbrellas in palanquin are made indeed creates more jobs for the Africans, therefore enhancing effective development. An examination of the manufacturing industry demonstrates contributions in textile and leather manufacturing, as well as the extraction industry, which involves the making of salt and mineral products, and industrial development has helped in shaping Africa. Cultural standards of life are achieved by a given people or society for the mutual benefit of all its members. Just as the definition of culture implies, we know culture is defined in a way where common values, attitude, preferences, knowledge are attributed to the behavior in a particular social group. And it has a positive influence on social progress in any given country. So, as I've stated earlier on, that there are two basic components of culture, which involves ideas and symbols on one hand, and artifacts or material objects on the other hand. It is by these statements that I am able to outline some components of culture which contributes to the social and economic development in Ghana and the entire continent of Africa. These components are language, technology, social establishment, political establishment, religion, and symbols. Culture is indeed a vital factor to be taken into consideration when discussing or contemplating on actions to be taken when it comes to development. Africa is a vast continent with a huge diversity of culture, norms, and practices. In an interview with lawyer Asari about the history of his hometown, Odumase, this is what Nana Mankwa Asari III, the new chief of the Chidom's too, had to say.
Media even announce the men and the now Asari it was me and Sunday. They share and now Grandma Power and then you're a baby and not Fred, a Luciano, Brefo, Yakumiano, Chito, Gubrene de Sunay, Eba, Domasia, Suna, Sharan Sana Baba Domasi, Sunidini Gubre. Na Menana, D. Kind, Snap Yeso, I friend Nana. We drew her. Nama. Oh, Chanas and our unit human. Now, to be soon, whom yet or didn't say. Oh, yeah, you might call ya with me and Niati Kama in some booby. It's not so dear woman break. And so Crawford in the China so Punya so Odumase, we are Odumase. I am so Chito. Now be a walk on free moon. Nana Grandma out the kind a fad as of sin and I non so if free moon. Punyano call and I say the fry for my do so be a also tea and of so a man ya visa so be tea. Non so so. Asa na prokusu no so baby na prokusu nya le kraki akoye na prokusu ono ye neto na e bo akranchi oto so bi no so fine no so friso na ye senya ya mi ya penya so nya ne baby ye friend na ko amampa no so toso Fina, so I do so. The you heavy D or say, Asari, Crunchina. And now you be a walk crunchy. I must say, and now say, Juma be a lawyer. Dean, we now through bar, you crack us in bed, Yaman, Tina, and Mamma Timasi, and I'm a fat, and I'm a deep pano, and I don't put me crunchino. And they are so deep or say, Asari, they say. Na say Asari crunchy and the Tosumiasa. Be a brand so and be a man and a juicy and a sweet. go house for Tina. Mema from the cry, and Maso de no. And na a dear work, Grimshino. Na o near penny, now your pie. Friend, na Saturday night, Saturday night, shed that Himano time and cause a Hima. Now we are penny. Tina na. Di kind didn't we have them on it? Be a Nana Ronaldino. Or so, oh, Baba, Bama Baba, a Bama free Jacka, Obano, Obano near Freno, and not the queer Fusia, and I'm not more fair. I know it, dear friend, and not the queer pie. We have to see how it's now. Say, also, oh, my, yes, and mammy and son of our body. Nana, ya, Tipia, we are or just to be a Joseph. I am me, Mema, and I know Tosso in Sapoti, or you a fool. We are full no shame. There man or them, no shame, a paying mass of your four, into 2 echo can, money free. About 7 million shares. It didn't ever feel book, the nickel when cheap, if it's a honor, free or what near so your foreign auntie. So, born a man would you see who said, Virginia Casa, Debbie, a pay or yet the most 40 sheep, almost signed in the bar, massive bed. And I'm not a queer who see a free one on the back. Yet, if we are the kind to find as a good or also a free one. Men are not in me, a pie. I, friend, a fearful fee. So, fearful fee, and I had to be out to the child to see a man. And I'm enti ono so nya ne be ko ye akunya no nipa wetina so ye friend na sechua na sechua da be ne me na nanu nyina no bi e bo akranpi ne kunadu obuma mase ko na enti ye nton ye se ifri nyina se sechua da be Ashanti'S a cotton chibi. Wakumu to ya ba. Inti Nana Sechua that brains free soon. Ya Nana ya tibia to see. Nipa menia ba that's me mamia. Not yet. I'm your friend, and my father. A young fool in I don't must say, because we are and say, I buy pretty beyond so senior pastor they are there. So you couldn't be out by half. And I'm not my second, and I come from my massage, my bar, your good tea, what I should say. It will be I'm also a very shy and it must be a year. I must say, get our one of the first last for my family.
Yeah, I was agree. You won't be it if you soon let them be answered. That's the net. You must send for program. There are great migrations among regions, countries, and ethnic groups, and this needs to be recognized. Although some people consider this as an impediment to development, the continent should take advantage of this rich cultural diversity in this quest for for economic development, and we should change this attitude to housework with a personal trust, time, and money. So I would like to end my presentation here about the event that I attended at Odumase. Kindly subscribe to my channel and share the video. Thank you very much. Bye.